us again we have Pedro Cordano. Pedro Cordano is a real estate agent from the Boston area. He born in Peru and he came from this country many years ago. But one of the things about Pedro Cordano is that he has a good business in his country. He was a very successful businessman. He has to leave his country, he has to leave his business behind, come to America and start over again from zero. And he's going to talk a little bit about why communism or being a socialist is not very cool. Let's go to the studio and welcome Pedro Cordano and learn more about his experience. Welcome, my name is Carlos Moreno and I had the pleasure to have with me today Pedro Cordano. Pedro, ¿cómo estás?
I'm doing really well, Carlos. Thank you very much.
All right, so two good immigrant friends, we're here today because we want to talk a little bit about the concept of the immigrant. There's a lot of talk about who's the immigrant, what the immigrant do, who's the good one, who's the bad one, and it's some type of stereotype about the immigrant come here or we come here just with the idea of just take advantage of a country, take advantage of what the country can offer. And in reality, it's not always like that. It may be some people like that, but most of the immigrants that I know, most of the immigrants that I have seen succeeding in this country, as you probably know, they work hard. Some of them become very successful, some of them doesn't become successful. So my objective today is talk to Pedro Cordano. He has a very interesting story. He came from his country, Peru, many years ago. He was having a good living there. He developed a great business, has a great family. He has a great future. But unfortunately, the socialists in that country obligate him to move out from his country and come here and start over again. Pero tell me a little bit about you, about why you decided to come to this country.
Okay, 1981, I believe it was, I received a call from my sister. She used to live here in the United States. And she asked me if I wanted to come and live here so she can start the process of asking for my visa, my family's visa. At that point, I said thank you, but no thank you. In Peru is a beautiful country, and I want to share this with you guys because we all feel that way. Our heart is broken in two parts. One, the country that we come from, and the other one, this country that in a wonderful way opened the doors for all of us, for our families. So I said thank you, but no thank you, and my sister, regardless of that, she started the process, asked me for a couple of pictures and signatures, and she started the process in 1981. A few weeks later, we have a military coup and a socialist military took over the power in Peru and destroyed my country in no time. My father saw this situation and he basically moved to the United States right away, came to live with my sister. And a year later, I went to the embassy, said, is that file is still open? They said, yeah, it's open, you want to go? Here you are. They gave me the papers and here I am. So that's my starting story, so you know.
So you come, and I understand in the conversation that we had a while ago, you have a good business in your country. At that time, you had your own business, you're doing, say, economically doing very good, and you had to leave everything behind, right?
Yes. As you know, in our countries, when you have a good way of living, you have a good business, and your family is doing well, there's no reason for us to move anywhere. I'm not talking about the United States, anywhere. Because, you know, in Peru, we work and we live for Monday to Friday. Saturday and Sunday, you don't work. Okay. Nobody ever calls you on a Saturday or a Sunday. You enjoy life, you enjoy your family. Right here, because of the technology and because of the system, there's no Saturday, there's no Sunday, there's no holiday. You work 365 days a week. So we enjoy life better there, and that's a big difference that we have.
So sometimes here we forgot about the most important values that we have, which is very much family.
The family, exactly.
So one of the things that I want to ask you is, you have been very successful, you have been doing real estate for many years, and I want to get your definition of success. I know success means something different for different people, but what is your definition of success?
Well, success, you have to measure success based on who is the person looking at it. You and me, we work in real estate, and most of our clientele are first-time home buyers, people that they just came here, some of them even illegals, some of them they're working in jobs that they're making $10, $15 an hour, and their way of success is measured completely different than a family that is established here, an American and Italian, that they have 2 generations of success. So their success is going to be higher. Their goals are going to be higher than the success that we can afford. But step by step, we're getting there. Second generation of Hispanic people are already working in technical jobs, in different jobs. And I think that for me, at this age, I'm 72 now, success means to have a wonderful family that I do, beautiful kids, grandkids, and to live with peace. You know, without complications, just be able to enjoy life in a way that only the United States can offer you.
We come over here, we have very much to start the same conditions, with no money, no relationship, we start at the same, but here we are later, some people succeed more than others. Why is that?
Okay, let's start first with the language. It's important for us to, some of us, I came when I was 40, I didn't speak the language, so my first concern was to learn English. Yeah, if you don't learn the language, you are condemned to work for $15 an hour, you know, because there's not much you can apply for. Once you learn the language, you know exactly what United States and what Boston or Massachusetts expect from you. So you can adapt your lifestyle from wherever you're coming from, that you love that, but you have to leave that behind you, and you have to go now with the new rules and regulations that this country offers to us. If you comply with that, if you respect that, the way of living of the United States, if you participate in one way or other in elections, local elections, presidential elections, that's very important because that gives you a feeling that you belong here. So basically that's what it is. You learn the language, you adapt, you respect the laws, and progress comes by itself.
If you come to this country, you have to adapt to the circumstances. You have to take the time to learn the language so you know how to communicate with people, express your ideas, learn from other people, and not trying to impose your culture or your beliefs to the country here and they complain about it. Why don't you guys do it the way I do in my country? It's the opposite. It's that we come over here, we should be more humble and adapted to the way it lives here. That's one of the things that I noticed with a lot of immigrants. We embrace this country, we love it, we are humble to learn from people who live here, have been here for many years, and we want to succeed like that, and we learn, for instance. So, if you have,
let me add something to that, Carlos. It's very important for families, especially if you as a parent have a kid or one of your kids is in age of start looking for a college. I was watching last week Ivanka Trump in a presentation in some kind of convention, and she was very strong in her belief that not everybody needs to go to Harvard, BC, BU, Yale, or whatever one of these schools. The cost of those schools for our community, they range between $30,000 and $100,000 a year. Yeah. I would say 95% of our community cannot afford it. But we have to follow the example of Italians and Greeks. When they came here, they went to technical schools. Okay. They learned how to build a house. They learn to be an electrician, to be a plumber. Their fortunes in today's world were created on these kind of situations. And those schools are cheap. Today, in today's world, Ivanka was saying, if IBM is hiring thousands of young kids in today's world to work in computers, to work in cybersecurity, paying between $80,000 and $100,000 to start. And they don't even have to go to college. They need just 1 year of technical school. So please keep that in mind. you don't need to ruin your life to send your kid to Harvard, okay?
So now that we're talking a little bit about college, one of the things that intrigues me the most is, it's a reality that we know, and it was coming, is technology, the evolution of technology, especially in countries like this, are going to replace a lot of workers. You can see now in different restaurants, supermarkets, different companies, people getting replaced. What is the new skill then, if you have to give an advice to one of your kids or somebody who want to start something, you will recommend them to go to a school like a carpenter or electrician, or you just go tell them to get something
right now, Carlos, if I have to give advice to anybody, I will say the future is in computers. The future is in social media. And every kid now has the skills. They are 2 years old, they're already managing a phone. So if we can create some kind of profession for our kids with internet, with a computer, with an iPhone, not only is good for the future, kids love that. And one of the keys for success is that you need to like what you're doing. If you go to a job that you don't like, a boss that you don't really like, your chances of success are limited. But if you do something that you like, you can do it from home and make a ton of money.
So, a lot of immigrants are still coming right now to this country, and some of them unfortunately don't have that education, those resources to go and start technology or get more, it's like a technology school. So the new people that come in, are they going to be affected by not being able to succeed in technology or being to go to schools and learn the new?
Well, we all have to pay the price of coming.
Okay.
When I came to United States 1988, my first job was, I don't know if you guys remember Wonderland, the dog race. Okay, my first job in the United States was cleaning the bathrooms there.
Okay.
And I'm not ashamed of saying it because it was an honest job and I could pay my mortgage with that job. So, yeah, as you go, I didn't intend that to be my job forever. I used that job as a step to get what I wanted.
Okay.
And then after that, I started going to school, improving myself, and I got where I am.
Okay. If today you going to emigrate to another country, let's say you are in your country or wherever you are, and you want to emigrate to another country and have a choice to emigrate to any country that you want, what country would you choose?
Okay, there's two countries that I would love to go and live. It's not that I love to go. I can manage to go. I don't mind. I'd like to stay in the United States or going back to Peru. My top priorities. By Italy is a country that I love. My father was Italian. I went to Italy a couple of times and I honestly love Italy. Love the people, love the way they live, like the simple way of life that Italians offer to you with love, with family. And Argentina. Argentina is a place that in my heart, I'm kind of Argentinian because I love politics and soccer.
Okay.
And for Argentinians, politics and soccer are basically the main reason of their lives.
Okay.
They're very passionate about it, as I am.
Now, are those countries equal to America in opportunities for a new immigrant?
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
Argentina is going through very tough times right now because, they just have an election and a left wing person won the election. So good luck to them. But the Argentinian inside is not going to change. You know, that country for me is a beautiful country to live. Italy is not the United States. It's a very small country. The economy is very small. It's not even the size of Massachusetts.
Pero another question that I want to ask you is, what are the disadvantages that we have of being an immigrant in this country?
There's a lot of disadvantages. One is, the main one is the language.
Okay.
Second one is that you're coming to a different world where people do things different the way you do it in your country. Third, the economy in the United States offers you so many things that it's so easy to get your check on Friday and by Saturday you already spend it.
Okay.
Because there's too many things to buy. You need to be disciplined. You need to sit down with your family, with your wife, and make a budget and figure it out, and not go into the temptation of spending more money than you make. That's a key decision to be successful.
So you have to be wise with your money. So
Exactly.
have to be careful. Yeah, that happens. When you come over here, it's too many great things that you don't have in your country. And
Everybody likes the new car,
new car,
beautiful car, and then they have a $450 payment a month, and they cannot buy a house.
That's the biggest mistake. Yeah, people sometimes they don't even make enough money during the year and buying this expensive car just to look good, but they are not helping you. So
well, what happened is that many of us we like to take a picture of the car that we just bought and send it to our country, so they see that we're making a ton of money when we're not. You know, but that's life, and we learn the lesson.
Okay. So, saying that, what is some of the natural advantages that we have as an immigrant?
Well, the advantage is that, like I'm sure it's Colombia is the same as Peru, we have a little bit of plumbers, electricians, we do everything because the economy is different.
Okay.
In Peru, a mechanic, because you cannot order new parts for your car, they have to make the parts for your car. So when you get somebody from Latin America coming over here, you have multiple resources to do things. Employers in the United States, they see that and they like that.
What about in the personal development side? Like if you put an immigrant to come to this country, and with some people that have been here for so many years, usually the immigrants become more successful because they come over here, they want to work hard, they don't worry about working long hours, they always want to learn, and they are not afraid to work hard and lose something. So for us as an immigrant, what do you think is the biggest advantage that we have?
Well, you know, that is one of the advantages, even though the idea, the concept that the Americans don't like certain jobs, I don't share that with anybody. Somebody did it before we came, and it was not Spanish. So they do what they have to do. As you go up the ladder, obviously you choose a different job. Okay. You know, but again, when we can work a little bit in construction, I have so many in real estate. I have at least 25 people that started picking up trash from companies and ended up with their own construction company.
Okay.
They make a little bit of money, they go to school, they get their license, now they have a lot of money and they buy in houses as an investment.
Okay,
so if that's when you do it right and when you do it honestly without stepping on anybody's toes. And this country is so great that they offer you that chance, and hopefully year and year more and more Hispanic can take advantage of that.
So usually when we come here to this country and when we're going through that process or learning, trying to succeed, along the way we make a lot of mistakes. What is one of your failures that you remember, one of the biggest mistakes that you make when you go into the process of living here and trying to succeed?
Well, basically, you know, you're trying to do things that you cannot afford.
Okay.
That's what I mentioned before. You have to be disciplined. And you live in a neighborhood where your neighbor kids are going to that school, to summer college, or they want to go skiing, or they want to go to play Little League. You cannot afford it, but you still spend the money and you still do it because you want to give your kids something better. I think that effort has to be toward education. We can sacrifice a little bit of what the way we say it is "qué dirán" when we speak in Spanish, and we can sacrifice that and put that money and put that effort into education, which is the only thing that is going to pay off for them.
So what is one of your biggest failures? I can remember I make a lot of mistakes along the way when I try to open businesses and doing things that I want to do, and there is few failures that always stay with me because I say, wow, I made a mistake. I'm glad that I make it because I learned a lot. Now, do you recall any of those biggest mistake that you made to life?
Many.
Then which one is one of your favorites?
Well, I have two mistakes that changed my life. One in Lima, I didn't see the socialist government coming over, and I stayed too long there. Okay. Give them enough time to take everything away from my family.
You just resisted to
exactly,
to
because I trust that no, this cannot happen to us. It's impossible. You know, it's just people are just talking. It's not going to happen. My father saw it. He changed. He advised me to come. I didn't do it. Okay. That was my first mistake. The second mistake was I used to own my own real estate company here, and I thought that by putting my kids to work with me was going to be the best decision ever. Yeah. I said, then I can retire, they can take over the business, but they didn't like real estate.
Okay. They go in different directions.
So I was making an effort, I spent a lot of money, opened a couple of branches for them.
Yeah.
They didn't like real estate. Mm-hmm. Thanks God they are doing okay. Nobody's in real estate but me. I'm happy, that they are successful, very successful in life. But the mistake I made was to not force, but to try to get my kids into something that I like.
Yeah, exactly.
And that doesn't work that way.
I remember that time. I remember you when you taught us, and by the way, they used to be amazing. I think they continue in this business that you building at that time. Yeah. Will be an amazing business right now, but it's something that we don't have control over all kids, and that they follow their own path. So that's very good. We learn, so that's great. So Pedro, I want to thank you very much. I hope this conversation that we have today has been very helpful for you. You are an immigrant. You're trying to get new ideas. That's the goal of this program. To teach you what we went through, give you some ideas, learn from that, and don't make the same mistake that we made through all the process of being an immigrant in this country. So, Pedro, thank you very much. Thanks for coming. I appreciate it. I will be in another video soon, and wish you all the best.